Hey everybody, Larry Lawton here. I got a good video for you today. It's going to be about Afghanistan and what's gone on there. And it's an important video. But before I get started, please check us out on our YouTube member programs, Patreon member programs. But this is a serious video. First of all, the United States has left Afghanistan. Officially, the war has ended, as we call it. It's the longest serving war in American history. 20 years we're at this place. Now, I'm going to get into a little bit of this video in a good way because I did a lot of research on it and I get a lot of calls on what do I feel on it. We needed to get out of Afghanistan. You know, that should have happened a long time ago. So I think what the president did, the United States, Joe Biden, getting out was a good move. Definitely a good move. Now, did they mess up the exit? Absolutely. I mean, if you watch any, you cannot watch the news and know they fucked this up pretty good. But I'm going to get into the total cost with everything from lives to equipment to everything else. But first, I want to really give a big shout out and a thank you to all the service members who served in Afghanistan. You know, you guys, I don't want you to think your service was for nothing. You kept America terrorist free for 20 years. And I think that says a lot. You also got Osama Bin Laden, which I don't think anybody thinks was a good guy in any way. I hope not. And I thank you for your service. I really do. All you guys out there, any military man who watches my channel, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. As a retired Coast Guardsman, I want to thank you for your service to this country, to me, to everybody around here for what we believe. Also, I want to really send my condolences to all the people who lost their lives. I'm going to get into the numbers here in a minute, but numbers mean nothing. One is too many. And I want to seriously tell all you people, and this goes for all the countries around the world, all the NATO countries that participated, and it was all of NATO. I want to thank you guys, all of you, for your services, any service member around the world who helped in this endeavor, if you want to call it. It's a really hard thing for me to watch the news and see the American lives, and I'm so glad we're out. What I watched on the news made me sick. People hanging from airplanes and falling, and this exit strategy we had was fucked up royally, and I'm surprised nobody has stepped down. I'm surprised nobody has resigned in the military, because you know, obviously the President of the United States doesn't sit there and plan the exit. He and the buck stops here. And I believe that. And somebody should have been, some heads should have rolled. This was just, I don't know who, the Secretary of Defense, the generals, whoever. They messed this up so bad. I'd love there to be an inquiry about that. There's articles all day long, the New York Times and stuff, saying there's still people there. They couldn't get to the airport. Yes, all of our military out of there. Now, I read an article that there's some former people went there on their own. They raised money and went there to try to help the people who are there. If that's all true, and there's no reason not to believe it, you know, there's something wrong there. If there's X amount of Americans there, we should be in there protecting them and getting them out of there. And all the other countries, I hope you're out of Afghanistan. I never believed in nation building ever, and I still don't. How could we, as a people, tell other people what to do? You know, I'm not a fan of the United States when it comes to this kind of stuff. I really am not. Yes, we did get Osama Bin Laden. Yes, we destroyed terrorist camps and training camps of that stuff, and I agreed with that. But then to try to make Afghanistan into a democracy when maybe it didn't want it, maybe its laws or maybe its religious is so deep. Listen, England tried to get in there. Russia tried to do that. Only a lot shorter. I mean, England was not long, and Russia was 8 years, and the United States is 20 years? Come on, man, we're hard-headed, and let's face it. Let me give you just a little stuff on what the cost of this war was in American stuff that hurts me deeply. We lost 2,448 service members. This is as of April of 2021. We lost that many, 2,448 service members. We lost 3,846 U.S. contractors. And what people don't know is the United States military even contracted with private organizations to go in there and fight, different organizations that do that, mercenaries, I guess you'd call them. But that is crazy. That's another 3,840. Aid workers, 444 aid workers. Think of that. People going in there to help with food and schooling or whatever they are, medicine, and they were killed. I mean, that's terrible. We lost 72 journalists were killed over there. Let me continue what we did. The Afghan national military. This is the Afghans. The national military that is no more right now. 66,000 people killed. The NATO members, this is our partners and all the people I'm thanking out there. 1,144 members of NATO soldiers were killed over there. Afghan civilians, now this is civilians, was 47,245. Unacceptable. And the Taliban and other opposition, they lost 51,191 people. So all of those deaths over bullshit. I mean, think about the deaths that are just there. And is it about money? I can go into it, and I'm sure it's part of that too. This is what it cost us. This will blow you away. The debt. We financed this war, if you want to call it that, at $2 trillion. Think of what I just said, $2 trillion. And this is from the AP News. And the interest cost on that $2 trillion debt by 2050, which I won't be here, probably, is $6.5 trillion. Now, who's paying for that? My kids, my grandkids. A lot of people are paying for that. Now, I'm going to keep going because I want to get this out before I go on my rants. We left 22,174 Humvees, 634 M111 tanks, 155 Max Pro mini-proof vehicles, 169 M113s armored personnel carriers, 42,000 trucks and SUVs. This is what we left there. Now it's in the Taliban's hands. 64,363 machine guns. Now this is from the U.S. Government Accounting Office. This ain't my numbers. This isn't somebody just making up numbers. This is the U.S. Government Accounting Office. 8,000 trucks, 162,043 radios, 16,035 night vision goggles, 358,530 assault rifles. Is that crazy? 176 artillery pieces. The fucking stationary guns, the big boom shit. Let me keep going. 33 M117 helicopters, 33 HU-60 Black Hawk helicopters, 43 MD-530 helicopters, 4 C-130 transport planes, 23 Embraer EMB 314s A29 Super Tucano plane, 28 Cessna 208s, and 10 Cessna AC-208 strike aircraft. We left all of that. This is what we have there in costs, in people, and stuff to fight us if they want. Now, I'm not going to get into the beginning of the war and all this. I don't believe in this because I remember Vietnam. And I know a lot of my fans and the people on this channel don't understand Vietnam. First, before Vietnam, we had Korea. Now, World War II, World War I were worlds that if we lose, we're speaking another language. You know what I just said? It's a whole different animal. Then comes Korea. We still have 50,000 troops there. Korea. Trying to break up a nation and trying to help a nation build with others. 50,000 troops still there in Korea. We don't learn our lesson from Korea. We go to the Vietnam Peninsula, North and South Vietnam. Is this crazy? Are we thinking crazy here? What's going on? Vietnam doesn't work. We have a couple other little things where it was Grenada and stuff. Then we had Iraq. Iraq, I understood. Even though, as a man who remembers Iraq very well, it was about money. It was about oil. At that point, if Saddam Hussein took over Kuwait, when we went into Kuwait, it was about the oil fields and oil. We never got our money back from that. I think that was crazy. We should have took over oil fields. We should have did a lot of stuff to fund that war. And that was the first George W. Bush. And I agreed with him. Get there, kick him out, let's get the hell out of here. He did it. Good for you, George W. Bush. H.W. Bush, the first Bush. And good for you. You did a great job, in my opinion. Then, of course, after that, now, you know, that was the war in Iraq. Understandable. Then you had 9/11. 9/11 was the killer, and it was one of the most biggest tragedies I ever remember in my life. I told you I remember the day where I was in prison during that time. I was in my cell reading a book, and my buddy Barry comes in and says, "Hey Larry, you gotta see this. A plane hit the World Trade Center." Big deal. Planes hit the World Trade Center all the time. You know, little Cessna hits buildings. It's a big deal, but it happened. No, this was the terrorist attack everybody in the world knows about. We had a collective and we agreed, and we're gonna get those people who did that, and we did. We ended up going after Osama Bin Laden, and we got him. He's dead. Thank you, service members. We killed the biggest scumbag in the world. We got him. I loved it. I still love it to this day. But why in the world are we there for 20 years? All the lives and money to try to bring democracy to a country that doesn't want it, or doesn't want it themselves. They don't fight it themselves, or a majority of people don't have the heart to get there. You know, to have a democracy, and this country lost so many people during, you know, the war we had, and War of 1776 when we had our independence, when we broke away from England. I mean, it cost lives, it cost people, it cost everything. We had our lands, we defended them, we did our stuff, we became, and we had the Bill of Rights, and that we're gonna be talking about the Constitution of the United States in the next video. It's gonna be a great video. There's some cool stuff about cops and all this shit. You're gonna love next video. But getting back to Afghanistan, the more I'm watching this, the more I'm heartbroken. I had to bring this video up to you young guys because I want you to become more of an activist, or more of people who want to see the right thing done. The more this happens, the worse we are as a country, because we shouldn't be policing the world. The United States doesn't have the greatest track record in the world either. So don't think, you know, we're the greatest, you know, everything's the greatest. Don't get me wrong, I love my country, but I'm a realist. I mean, you know, they talk about freedoms. 180 countries around the world have freedom. You know, so don't say we are the only country that have freedom and all that, you know, bullshit. A lot of countries have freedoms. We have the biggest military in the world. We spend the most money in the world. We got the biggest economy in the world. That doesn't mean we need to be the police of the world. And it hurts me. And I was around during the time when they had the draft. And that means you would be drafted into the military whether you want to go or not. Some countries still have it. South Korea, you have to spend 2 years in the military. I think Japan is the same way. You have to spend 2 years in their military. There's other countries that have the same thing, and it's not a bad thing to understand if you want to defend certain things that are very important. And especially when we're talking about freedoms and we're talking about our way of living, we do talk about world economies, everything else. Listen, nobody wants a war. I hope nobody wants a war. You know who wants the war? Let's be real. Let's be real right here on my channel, since this is Larry Lawton's channel. And Larry Lawton don't fucking pull punches. The people who want wars is the defense contractors. They make tons and tons of money. The money that is made by defense contractors and airplane builders and all the fucking thing that go along with that stuff is astronomical. The amount of money that people make is sick. And that's sad because there's people's lives at stake. We are losing young people. How many people came back from Afghanistan with one leg, one arm, you know, blown up? I mean, it's such sad shit, man. And we're only lucky we didn't lose them to death because our great medical teams have saved their lives. Years ago, they'd all be dead. And that's sad, man, that we're fucking doing this to our own people. We're all doing this to people around the world, trying to inflict our way of life on everybody. You know, nation building doesn't work. It's been proven over the course of history, right from the fucking Romans, when the fucking Huns fought people. It doesn't work. Nation building doesn't work. Controlling other people by the way they live doesn't work. Our way is not the right way all over the world. It all depends on where you come from, what religion you follow, a whole bunch of other things. Geography and everything else. We can't expect to be nation builders, but we keep running into this, and it's at the point where a lot of people believe, and I'm one of them now, that's all about money. It's sad, but it's about money. And these people make so much money on this. So many people got rich off this shit. It's crazy. And it's sad because there's so many people that I respect. You know, when I see a military uniform, I salute it. I don't care what country it's from. I salute it. And I'll tell you why. Because I respect that a person will give their freedom up or their way of life or whatever they went in the military to protect my rights, to protect the United States Constitution on my part. And whatever country you're from and anybody in the military in that country is protecting that way of life for the people who live there. I respect you more than you know, military people. You know I'm a big supporter of the military because I'm retired military myself. I am retired Coast Guard. I was in there for almost 8 years and got hurt. And I am a disabled American veteran. I even go to the VA. And I got hurt and I wouldn't be in the service. I probably would have never went into crime or anything else if I stayed in the military. But I didn't because of injuries. I ended up coming out. And my whole story you all know. And if you don't know it, please go into the playlist. Check out Gangster Redemption book series. You check that out, you're going to know a lot about me, from the military service I did to all the way to crimes in the jail and what I did when I got out. Because I'm here now as a person who wants to educate people in every way I can. Now, I'm no genius. I'm a man who's pretty intelligent, high IQ, watch TV, not just one news organization. I watch the left, the right, the middle. I watch them all. And the reason I do that is because I want to get a general opinion and then sift through the bullshit that I see them doing. And every one of these networks piss me off. It's hard for me to watch the news. I try to read some news. I read reporters that I know and like. I also watch AP News. I watch different Reuters, the big news organizations, the world news organizations, to see how they view these kind of topics. And I think it's very important for you as a young person out there to follow just a little bit. I know I can't do it anymore either. It's such bullshit, so much crap you read. They all have a fucking agendas that pisses me off. And I understand why I even like gaming, because I get away from these assholes. But as a person who's out there who lives in the United States or whatever country you live in, you gotta follow it because you are the leaders of this country and the leaders of the world in the future. Everybody who watches this channel, I know we have mostly a younger audience, and you guys have to be the leaders. Young people have to have their minds. You have to question authority. I do this now, and I'll be doing a great video from Lackluster, it's called, and it's about police violating people's First Amendment rights. The stuff that these servicemen fought for. I mean, our forefathers in World War II were fighting for our way of life. Or we're speaking German or Japanese. We are speaking those languages. So, you know, and listen, I know anybody on this channel is not from that era and didn't do it, whether you're from Japan or Germany. I have great audience. I want to go to Germany. I love Germany. I want to go there so bad. They got a great prison system. They really try to help people. I'm a big supporter. But our country fought for those things so we wouldn't have to be like this or one world power like Hitler and all that. I ain't gonna get into that part. So I'm sitting here trying to make sense of the Afghan withdrawal with giving respect to the service members of this country and the world for that, the NATO, every one of you. I really, and I mean that. I want to give you a lot of congratulations and my heartfelt respect. So anybody out there, and you know. But I also want you to start thinking about being an independent thinker yourself. I know that I had contractors. I know I had people from overseas that watch my videos. And those are the people I want to say, hey, listen, I respect you. As far as our service members, welcome home, every one of you. Welcome home, and I hope our leaders don't put you in a stupid position like they did. And you did what you had to do. You're part of a chain of command, and you did what you had to do, and that's kind of structure, and it's normal, and it's needed. But our own leaders need to get off their fucking ass and fucking stop just funding this crap and putting people to war when we know this has never worked. And I hate to keep thinking about how bad the money is and become one of those channels, and I'm not. I like this channel because it's fun. I open your eyes for movies and robberies and TV shows and hot topics and prison stuff. I love that. I want to keep that up. I want you to, but I had to mention this video because I'm watching it on the news, and all news stations are every day how we're out of there. Well, thank you, President Biden, for getting us out. But you know, President Biden, take the heat because you got us out in the wrong way. You messed up, or your people messed up. Because if you think that was a smooth exit, boy, is that going to be a stain on your record. Yeah, I think it's going to be a plus on your record that you actually got us out. And it's sad. And the people over there, it's sad. The people who helped us, sad. Our words should mean something. Mine does. I think I said enough about that. Thank you again, servicemen. Thank you, all my fans, for everybody on this channel for watching. Please pass it on. Please subscribe if you haven't. All your comments, please comment below, because you know I'm going to be looking at the comments when this video comes out, for sure. Always do. Every time a video comes out, I do that. Something I love to do. Thank you for the comments. Please check it all out. If you haven't checked my book out, check it out, Gangster Redemption. Have a great day, everybody. Please, thank you, and God bless to our troops out there. And thank you all for watching. Have a great day, everybody.